Hey, what is up, everybody? I am here doing a Dagor 16, as you can see. So what we're going into is I'm a Holy Paladin. This is 8.3 BFA, and we got a Blood DK as the tank. Now, there's going to be some tough calls here because he has some mitigation, but not a lot. Most of it is healing, and I'm not going to be on the top of the charts as far as healing goes because Blood DKs are overpowered when it comes to that. But keep watching, see how I do things. Hopefully this helps people out with their build. Um, I'm, you know, you got to be in the midst of it, doing Crusader Strike, Holy Shock, Light of Dawn. I'll do my judgment just for that extra DPS. If everybody does well, as far as the DPS, they it's a pretty easy run. Don't have to heal too much. So the affixes this week are Sanguine, um, Fortified. Oh gosh, obviously Awakening, it's a 16. And then I can't remember the other one. Oh, it's right there. Volcanic. Okay, or quaking. My bad. Anyways, so he's cutting these guys around. These gators put on a health debuff that decreases your percentage of health, and it stacks. So it gets pretty dangerous, especially for him. He doesn't have a lot of mitigation, so no damage reduction. It just eat the full damage, heal past it. And I'm going to have a few oops here. I'm not a whole ton familiar with Toldagar, so there will be some mistakes in my part. And this hunter, later on you'll see, makes a few mistakes. But all in all, it was a solid run. Would have been better if we didn't have as many deaths. So this boss fight I'm never too familiar with, but we get past it. So yeah, once I apply Glimmer to everybody, if nobody needs a quick heal, then I start damaging the boss with it, and at least put a glimmer on him. See, like I just ran through a dune there. I'm not paying attention to much. Just having to melee and get out of stuff and heal. Um, there's a lot going on. Stunned. I keep jumping into those dunes, and I finally start figuring it out. I've only done Toldagar and low keys. This is the first time I've ever done it on a high key. So there's a lot of things that will affect you more than normal. And I almost get into a dune there. But here, I try to stack haste much as possible for my build, but I throw in crit as well because crit is good. I have that radiant incandescence for the holy shock, so that puts a little 3-second hot on them. That actually, if it crits, it's does quite a bit. So sometimes it was doing up to like 8%, 10% of my healing. So and here they're just pulling aggro. They kind of jumped into the fray, and before the DK could establish a major threat. And there's times where I back up and get out of it and flash a light, and I don't know if I should be doing that. It drains a ton of mana. So, and I'm fairly new to the Holy Paladin as far as like just responsive heals, and I forget about uh, lay on hands. That's a huge thing. To forget about. And this is the first time ever playing a paladin. I came back into WoW into 8.3 after shit. It's been 10 years since I've played. I came back in, started with a Resto Shaman, got him up, realized that Resto Shamans weren't greatest for dungeons, and that's what I was kind of focusing on was dungeons. And because I'm the casual player, I would like to find a raid that could fit my schedule, but most of the time they don't. But then I started looking. I don't like druids. I didn't want to be a druid, and so I re-rolled a pally. And honestly, I love it. I I love the ability to be DPS, healing, or a tank. And I've tanked a few lower keys, and it's fun. God, there's a lot less to worry about when you're tanking. Just positioning the mobs, and I don't have to pay attention to everybody else. So, yep, when the obelisk go through here, pass these gators. We'll drop it up here towards the end, pick up that gator, keep going. Told the Guard's one of those dungeons that feels like it just takes forever to do. And a huge role to the Holy Paladin, as far as this spec goes, is their ability to heal a lot and DPS. Now I can single target, and if I don't have to apply Glimmer to everybody and worry about that, or I could apply Glimmer to everybody, and then just not worry about any main healing or focus healing and just DPS, I'll pull out 32k. So that's not hard. This week's affixes, I don't think are tough. I think they're pretty easy to work around. So mob or the trash pulls are a little tougher, yeah, but you get past that. Blown cooldowns on trash instead of bosses, which is just not bad. The sanguine pools, they grow, and then just be putting them on these stairs makes it so hard to stay out of them, and that's why I told Dagor was a pain in the butt in this with these affixes. But yeah, I'll be doing more. I'll be starting to push higher keys now that I feel more comfortable with what I'm doing. Finally getting all the dungeons down. As far as it's just a lot of knowing what the trash is going to do, knowing when to blow all your cooldowns, knowing when all this damage is going to come in, especially when it all depends on the affixes. So I think right here is where I'm going to be popping wings. A lot of times I do. Yep, because there's just a ton of damage from these eyes that happen, and then I like to help burst them down just to get past this part. So standing in that crap, the boss throwing that, or the main guy throwing the purple stuff on the ground. So there we go, get past it. Line of sight, line of sight. There we go. Slowly, everybody stick with him because he just shoots that ooze at random people. He shoots it at the hunter who sits up right there, so that works out real great. I thought it was me he shot it at when I was actually doing it, and I apologized. I was like, oh, sorry, because yeah, the tank and I are in Discord, and we're in the same guild, and we're just pushing these high keys. Well, if I cut out there for a little bit, it's because I took a phone call, and it paused everything, so kind of handy. There's a few close calls, but it's mainly because I was standing and stuff. Cutting it close there. The one thing I love about Holy Paladins is Beacon of Light, baby. God, there's not much focus healing I have to do on the tank. Just Light of Dawn. Man, if I can get everybody in that, To a point, I like all melee because then they're all right with me, and Light It On can hit them, and then that's just a lot of healing that just goes right onto the tank. But that's where Glimmer comes into play too. I like Glimmer. And I bought a, what was it, a shoulders or a helm? Bought a helm, 480 helm with my Titan Residium, and did not have the Glimmer spec on it. So it's just the chances you take. So still got a 465 helm. You can see right here I'm running like 55. Oh, right up there 61, I think. Just HPS, and he is Ginger Giant, the DK tank, is still beating me. I think there is only one fight where I beat him, and that's because he just wasn't taking much damage. So, and their healing is based off of the damage they take. So, I have Unwavering Ward as one of the specs on here. And then, oh gosh, what's the other one that I have? Spirit of Preservation, is that what it's called? I can't remember. Anyways, it increases the healing that my flashlight does, the first initial one, and then increases the crit chance based on the stacks that were there. Then I have Conflict of Strife, just a rank 2. I should try to get that to the rank 3, but honestly, when I get on, all I want to do is dungeons, and then do some dungeons, and then log off. I have content up that's Call of Duty. It's hard to put up good content there. And yeah, this is where things got a little hairy. The Demon Hunter pulled an extra mob. Just didn't work out. So we're going to redo that here. Do this. He's going to pull one right here just to keep that dipshit from pulling. Told the Gar's so much fun. You can't zoom out all the way. Walls keep you from doing that. So you have a hard time seeing everything. I like to be zoomed out all the way. I think right after this pull, we're going up to the boss. This boss fight, it's pretty easy. For me, it is, anyways. I mean, yeah, there's stuff you got to kick, but as a holy paladin, there's nothing you kick. So you can't kick. You have a stun. So, and honestly, to a point, healing with the paladin I like a lot more than the shaman. The shaman had more utility as far as that wind shear, short cooldown. But trying to figure out who to kick while healing and doing some DPS, that was difficult for me. Here I don't have to worry about that. I can just heal, damage, heal, damage, heal, damage. If I need to throw a stun on something that can be stunned, I will. So yeah, I think in this run I started using the that Blessing of Sacrifice damage reduction deal for him. I've been using that a lot more because I realize it actually doesn't hurt me that much. So that's a tool that I plan on using a lot more. You can see when shit procs, my haste is so fast that it actually, I think you start getting diminishing returns on it. So might start stacking more crit than haste. But hopefully you can just see everything that's going on. That way it'll help you with your polls, with what to do, what not to do. We had a good comp here. The Hunter, and the DK and the Demon Hunter. All of them. Hunter, kind of a chump when it came to this. Maybe, I don't know. Hunters are good, but I think they take a skilled player. Because I know a few hunters. I know a hunter that is 470, high 470s, and he just has a hard time putting out the numbers that some of these other guys do. So, but then again, we've also told him to stop being a clicker and start putting things on his keyboard, macroing, but he clicks everything. Okay, so here I just dispelled that. It's a magic debuff. I keep forgetting what it does, so I dispel it off of me first when I shouldn't, because it's just a damage reduction deal. So it reduces damage done by 50%, I think, or 75%. So, and I do it again. I keep forgetting what it does. So, then I do it on me again right there. So, next time I need to put it on, I don't know, one of the DPS. And that's, like I said, I don't run Tol Dagor that much. So, but I think that one will stick in my mind. Had to run through the same one there. A Ginger Giant has an add-on here that posts every time somebody stands in fail damage, something that damage that is clearly avoidable. I think towards the end of the run, I think I'm rank 1, so it goes, it ranks you as the least amount of damage. So if you're 1, then that means you took the least amount of damage. If you are 5, then you took the most amount of damage. And I think at the end, it automatically posts. And I think I was up there, and I took quite a bit more than everybody else. But that's okay, because I'm the healer. I can do that. That's expected. Yeah, to me, it just feels like Tol Dagor drags on so far. I mean, you get here and you think you're close to the end, but you still got that one boss to get to, and then you gotta. Drives me bonkers. Then again, I think most of the time when I played with Tol Dagor, it was with some failed runs, and it just felt like it drug on. Drug on. A lot of it was just not doing mechanics correctly. Go baby, go baby. Take it off of him, because he needs it. He was taking some damage. I have weak auras. I need to move my bars out of the way a little more so I can see better and put weak auras up so I can just see when things are up and ready to be used. I think we timed it just right. Yeah, got right into there right before about that. Ooh, would have been bad. Yeah, stuck in the same one. There you go. Put it on myself and get away from everybody, because when that dot goes up, it'll fear anybody in the circle. So even if you cleanse it off yourself. Yeah, coming into these dungeons off of what you used to do as far as 10 years ago. Oh my gosh. You never buffed up. You never took food or flasks in and did these dungeons. It was just, you went in and did dungeons. If you had damage, then you could get it done. A decent tank, you know, that knew what not to pull and how much to pull, and that was it. There was no like super duper mechanics. It was like, oh, he's doing this slam, step away. That's it was pretty basic shit. Um, and there was no difficulty. I mean, I think they had heroic. They had that type of difficulty, but they didn't do keys. They didn't have the progression type deal. I love this progression. And I wish they would take it to like, doing 20 keys uh would drop 480 pieces. 480 Azrite gear or something. Because not everybody can do 20s. And then I wish they'd change it to where the Titan Residium, you'd get more from it. I mean, really, 15 you max out on it, so it's kind of annoying. So somebody just jumps on, does their 15 for a week, and get the same as you that did 5. 15s, a 16, a 17. You're just like, it's kind of horseshit. I think they should scale it down a little bit and take it up to at least 20. If you can do a 20, you get 3,000, and then lower it what 200 every level. So if you get a 15 done, but yeah, I got that 20,000 to Azerite specific pieces that you can buy. You're not rolling and taking a chance on it. Those cost 20,000. That takes you 5 weeks. Or no, takes you 10 weeks. My math was way off. 10 weeks. 10 weeks by the time you get one of those pieces farmed up. Goddamn new season's coming out. But BFA was not the greatest, but I don't think it's terrible. But then again, I missed a lot of expansions. From what I've heard, some of the other expansions just were terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay, get this boss going. Get to this obelisk guy. Hopefully you know what I mean when I say this boss. I mean, obviously, I consider this guy a boss because heal, heal, heal. All right, move some barrels real quick. And go. I died once on here because I honestly could not see which way she was pointing. There's so much shit going on. And she blends in with it so well. I mean, you got the hunter's pet. Like, look at all that. I had a hard time figuring out where she was pointing, and I couldn't see. And so I think it's right here. Yep, right there. I just couldn't see. So I get rezzed by Ginger Giant. Should just pop my coolies and tear into her. And I do. Okay. Pop the cooldowns. Top everybody off. And then the Demon Hunter drops his stuff, and that just mitigated all the damage. That was so nice. Boom. I don't have much corruption on. I think I have 2 pieces of corruption. One increases. Actually, no, I don't have it on this one. I have it in the next week. Uh, only piece of corruption I have on is on like a pair of pants or boots, and that is it. Procs 1500 haste. It's the only corruption I have on this guy, and I've been trying to get more, but every piece of corruption gear I get is actually I haven't been getting that much, so really. But there is some fucking worthless corruption pieces. I do what I can to stun here. I can't remember who gets into the cannon, but they do a good job most of the time. I'm used to like people knocking 3/4 of their life down, and then we got to take the rest. But one of these pulls kills the guys completely. All right, we come up onto this, and there's just really, it's a hard spot to be, um, especially with quaking. Got to limit how much you move. I wasn't paying attention to this one cannon and got cleared out by it. Get out of there. There we go. I think it's right here. There was just a lot going on. So I got stunned. And then right here. Yep. And dead. But then they throw a B-res to me. So if you're a holy paladin and you want to get some interrupts going up on your list, if somebody's keeping track of it, right here, shitty. Yep. If you want to get interrupts going that show up saying, hey, they interrupted this much. Quaking will count as that. Interrupting yourself counts as you interrupting. Little fun fact. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, do what you want. Comment. I will be posting more. It's hard to put a good group together as far as pugs, because that's what I've been doing. There's no guild runs. My guild doesn't have the right amount of people. But anyways, thanks.